Hey everybody, this is Brad from Johnson Small Engines, better known as the one-hand mechanic. If I can do it, you can too. Today we have here a 2023 Cub Cadet LT42B as in boy. It's the XT1 Enduro series, and there have been changes to this machine through the years. The XT1 LT series has been out for a long time. First thing I want to get into, I would just recommend always checking your oil first before you cut the grass. You're just going to twist that, pull it out, and this guy here has brand new. It only has 6 hours on it, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. Actually, we're going to flip to a clip that I have. Now this oil is right on the mark. They should be between the two dots, and this one's right on the mark. As I said, it only has 6 hours on it. We're going to go, let's go to the clip. They did change the blades, and unfortunately the customer who bought this bought a mulching kit to put on, and they put it on incorrectly because of, I'll show you right now. I just want to show you an update on their blades. They went to a new style. They call this the S blade, the S-shaped blade, as you can see right here. Now, I'm showing you this because the reason why this brand new machine's in the shop is because they bought a mulching kit with the old 6-point star mulching blade, and actually the normal blades are all 6.2. Up until I think the middle of 2022 and maybe the beginning of 2023, they started making these blades. I have seen them a few times, but this is what they're going to, and the whole point of showing you this is that just make sure you're getting the correct blades for your machine. Okay, so the oil's good, and this hood, it doesn't come up quite as high as I'd like it to get to the spark plug, which is over here. But it is pretty easy to take off the hood just by disconnecting your connector right here, and then it'll just lift off. Going around to the other side of the engine here, I'm going to show you the air filter cover. The air filter is here. Now this is one thing that Briggs & Stratton, this is a 19 horsepower, actually, yeah, they're calling this a 19 gross horsepower. Way back in the day, I don't know if anybody remembers, comment below if you remember that Briggs & Stratton got sued because they didn't have the horsepower rating correct. Anyway, this is a 19.0 gross horsepower engine, but I'm getting to the air filter here is when you take your air filter cover off, a lot of the Briggs & Stratton engines were not coming with pre-filters. And guess what? There's your pre-filter. So that's a nice thing. They went back to putting pre-filters on their engines right out of the factory like they should have all the time. If you guys don't have a pre-filter on your air filter, go out there and check them now, whatever machine you have. Definitely put a pre-filter in the air filter. The gas tank is here, and this one here is very low. And you can see on this side here, this is where you can actually see the gas. Now his gas tank is very low, so by opening up the hood, you can kind of see where it's at right now. So we don't have much gas in there. It actually almost doesn't even show up. So at this point, if you're looking on the outside and you don't see it, I would suggest definitely filling it up. Gas cap is here. It just clicks in like that and you're tight. You're gonna put the hood down. So we're gonna go ahead, since we're on this side, we're gonna go over to controls. You have a emergency brake / clutch. It's kind of like the same thing. When you go to start your machine up, you want to make sure you put the brake all the way down, and you have a brake handle right here. It says P for parking brake. Now to put the brake on, you just have to hold the pedal all the way down as far as you can push it, and then push this lever down, let go of the pedal nice and slowly. It'll lock the pedal in the down position. And then when you want to let go of that brake or disengage it, you just push down. You'll hear it click. It should come up to the up position, and then you're ready to go. Okay, so I recommend always having the brake on. Just make it a habit when you get off your machine to put the brake on. And then also you can start the machine. You can also get off the machine when the blade's not running with the emergency brake on, and the engine will still run. Now being over here, we have turtle, rabbit, and this is the choke position. So all the way down is slow. You'll go all the way up to an indent. You'll feel this indent right here. And you can't go up any further, it seems like, but you can. When you go up all the way up, that is choke on. And a lot of these have gone to spring loaded, but this one feels like you can just leave it there. I would suggest just holding it up with your thumb, and when you crank it over, it'll start. As soon as it starts, bring it down off a choke. I usually bring it down to let it idle for a little while, right above turtle, just to let it warm up a little bit. Depending on where you live, if it's cold, you definitely want to let it warm up before you just go out there and start, cutting. You have an hour meter, which is very nice to have. And this is the hours right now. So we have 6.8 hours. Your ignition is over here. Let's just do a walk around on the other side. And I'm gonna go into the key all these positions here. All right, so you have off, and you have a little teeny light here that's a reverse cut. This is a nice feature. I like it. Unfortunately, I don't like this is that it's all electronic, because if you leave these things out in the rain, which you should not, do not wash your tractor. That's another thing. These will fail. So when you turn the key to on, or actually when you turn it one click, that goes into the reverse cut position, okay? You don't need that quite yet. Then you have the on, that's where the key is going to be when you're cutting grass, and this is the crank. When I go to crank it and I turn it one more notch, the engine will spin. This button here is what you do have to put on to go into reverse and cut. So after you're running, now right now the key is in the on position, and this is where we should be running. You're going to turn it back one notch, it'll still run, and you're going to push this button in, and this will light up red. Once this is lit up red in this position, you can now cut in reverse. The engine will not shut off. If you do not have the key in this position, it will shut off every time you go in reverse. Once you have that red light on, you can leave it on all day long. As long as the tractor is running and the light is on, you'll be able to cut in reverse. If you don't want to have this safety on, you can just put it into the on position and away you go, but every time you back up, you will cut off the engine and it'll shut down. So back to this yellow spot right here with the ignition key, and then push this button in. Before you go into reverse, this will glow red. And we're going to take you out there. I do apologize for the siren. We will go out there and show you how to do it, okay? So let me just go back to the back here and show you. This is a newer style seat. It's actually very comfortable, and I like it. I like it a lot. It's a nice, comfortable seat. That's definitely an upgrade from the old style. There is an adjuster right here, which you will sit on the machine, pull up on the adjuster, and it slides back and forth in the bracket to specifically get your seat set to where you want it. This is your battery compartment. Not real happy about this because they went from a full-size battery, which I'll show you. They went from full-size battery, which goes in the lawn tractor, to back to the mini battery. And how many people remember way back in the day when they actually used these for some of the old MTD tractors? This is actually not a bad thing, I don't think. This is a gel battery. These are upgraded batteries through the years. These are very nice batteries, and I hope they last. This is the first one I've seen. This is the newer series, 2023 year, and I hope they last. I would definitely recommend keeping it on trickle charge during the wintertime when you're not using it, or at least charge it once a month in the wintertime when you're not using it. Depending on where you live, you may run the tractor all year round and you don't have to worry about it, but that is something that you're gonna have to, with every battery, you should always have a battery charger, or at least able to charge it up. So that's the battery here. You have on this side here, we have the up and down for the mower deck. I'm gonna get on the tractor here and show you. So this is the height adjustment for your mower deck. So you just pull it out, then down, and just put it into any notch. I do like it's spring loaded. It feels pretty nice. It's nice and easy to lift up and down, which it should be. A lot of the older models didn't have that. This is your blade engagement right here, and then you just basically flip it and lock it in right there, and that's for your that's for your lawnmower PTO engagement. So this engages your mower deck. We have two pedals here. We have a forward pedal and a reverse pedal. So you cannot move until you take the emergency brake off. So remember to take your emergency brake off, which I'll do. I'm gonna start this up and show you guys. So we're gonna go ahead and start it now. I'm not gonna run the mower deck because we're inside, but I will show you that one, you got to have the emergency brake on, which it is now. And then you take your throttle and you take it all the way up to the choke position. We're gonna turn the key to the on, and now we're gonna go ahead, we have the brake on, we're in choke. As soon as it starts, I'm gonna take the choke off and idle it down. Now, as far as going forward, you're just gonna release the parking brake by putting it in, let go. We have forward, and then let go, and then you have reverse, like so. And when you let go of your foot, it'll literally come to neutral, reverse, back to neutral. I hope you guys are able to hear me through that. And I want to show you in the back here, I just turned the machine off. If you need to push this, you can push this machine, but don't push it unless this rod is in the out position. Okay, this is, you see a person here pushing a tractor. That is when this rod right here is out. Okay, that allows you to push the tractor. And then of course you see a person here driving the tractor, forward and reverse, and it's in. You can push it very easily when it's out. Now when it's in, you can also push it, but you don't want to because it's not as easy, and you can also hurt the hydro transmission. So remember that. If somebody drops off your machine and you push the pedals forward and reverse and you go nowhere, the first thing you check is this. If this is out, you can push the pedals forward and reverse and you will not go anywhere. So keep that in mind. This has to be in to operate the tractor forward and reverse. So I'm going to go ahead down and we're going to take this outside and show you how to operate the mower deck and cut and reverse. Okay, so we're outside right now and I'm going to show you how to cut and also cut and reverse by this switch here. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start it up. Now also when you get into your grass, make sure that you just put the mower deck where you think you want to be as far as cut height goes. You're not going to really know until you're actually cutting how high you want it. And once you figure out the height on it that you like your grass cut, then just leave it there. Everybody asks me what height should you cut at. It's up to you. It's up to how you like your grass. Anyway, I'm going to put it down a little bit. I don't want to hit my camera person with these stones on the driveway, but the only way to show it to you is to do it this way. And all right, so I have it down about halfway. We're gonna go ahead and start it up on choke. I also have the emergency brake in right now, so it's up on choke, start it up. Now when I engage the mower deck, I usually engage it about half speed. So we're gonna go ahead and engage the mower deck. Now I'm not gonna run this up to full speed because you may not be able to hear me, but we're gonna go forward. Now what happens when you go backward, see how it shuts off when I go backward? That's not good. So right here, turn the key back one notch, push the button in, light comes on, and now you're straight up and down the key right here. Now we're going to go backward. And now I'm going to go forward. Backward. So as you can see, the light is on and we're cutting in reverse. That is a great feature. If you turn the key to forward one more time, you cannot cut in reverse now. On, turn it back, push the button in, red light goes on, now we can cut in reverse. While this light is on, you can leave it on all the time if you'd like. And whenever you go in reverse, you'll be able to cut in reverse. If you turn this key one notch just onto the on position, the light goes out, you can't cut. So hopefully you guys heard everything, but yes, you have to have this light on to cut in reverse. This is a great feature though. You can actually leave that light on and cut in reverse all day long. As long as that light is on, you should be fine. So that pretty much, I think, covers it for how to start and operate. And then, in my opinion, on some ups and downs about the machine, I have to say, though, too, is that the engine they went to, they had a single-cylinder Kohler that went into these XT1s. I did not like that motor whatsoever, and I think Cub Cadet finally figured out that that motor was not a good motor either. The Kohler really shot themselves in the foot with the single-cylinder Kohler Courage engine, and that was before the other one that they made that was not very good either. But now this is a 2023 model. It's coming with the Briggs & Stratton single-cylinder engine, which is great. Makes me feel better. As long as you guys check your oil and change your oil regularly, make sure you keep the blades sharp. They did beef up the suspension a little bit on the inners on the tires, which is right here. As much as I hate to say, I think there's still plastic bushings in here, but they have a nice grease fitting here. They're a little bit thicker on the axle part itself. So that, yeah, it's a little bit beefier. The steering has changed a little bit, and underneath here where the steering is, they have changed this up a little bit. It does look a little bit nicer. It looks a little beefier than the old style, and I like that too. So hopefully everything will hold up just fine. And if you do need to buy a mulching kit, as I showed you in the beginning, with the blades being a little bit different, make sure you get the right blades for this machine. This machine has gone to a different blades, so the way it's called the S shape. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Please subscribe, tell your friends about my channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.